The trick with the unthreading tool is you have to push it in far enough to grab the broken plastic fitting and then back it out backwards, all while applying pressure. Yeah, right. After a number of attempts, I think we finally got the tool to grab.
Now, do I have that fitting? That's 1/2 inch by 3/4 barb.
I have 2 baskets of loose fittings in my van. Will I have the needed hose barb fitting?
Okay, so that was a 1/2 inch thread by 3/4 inch barb fitting. Now, to me, it's a common fitting, but not common enough to at least have with me today. So I had to come up with a workaround, an alternative. So what I found was a 1/2 inch pipe nipple, a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch threaded adapter, the 1/2 inch pipe nipple thread in there. This is a hose barb, 3/4 inch hose barb with a female fitting on the end of it. And so I've adapted it, and that I can thread right into the chiller barrel and then slip my tubing over the end. Pretty clever, huh? More than one way to skin a cat.
The adaptation consists of 3 threaded fittings, and each one requires being wrapped with the Teflon tape. The tape helps ensure that there's a seal at all of those threaded points.
Tape on this fitting. I was ready for that. Okay, so there's my barb in there. Now, what I need to do is figure out how to get the broken off fitting out of that tubing there. Start first by taking the clamp off, or breaking the clamp. Sure glad I got more of those in the van. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Now we're ready to immerse the end of that tubing into the water and get it to slide on the barb.
The use of a cup of boiling water is so you can immerse the end of the tubing into it, which will make the plastic much more pliable. When sliding the warm tubing onto the barb fitting, it will slide on much easier, and when it cools down, it will contract around the barbs on the fitting, providing an even more secure connection.
And that should be on there real well, okay? Good, now I need to go out and get a new clamp. And with a new clamp in place. Okay, so we flipped around the box that holds the water pump. The old water pump still sticking out the end of the box, still secured to the box. We did this so that we could get the new water pump in place. It's not secured, but that PVC pipe should hold it in place. It shouldn't go anywhere. We spliced in our fittings, re-taped both the inlet and outlet of the new water pump, and put a new fitting up here. The only one that hasn't been replaced is this one, and it seems to be fairly secure. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So at this point, I think what I need to do is go in and open up the valves on the inside and see if I can get some water down to the water pump to prime it.
He used to buy 600 gallons of ocean water every 2 weeks. Now he makes his own for a third of the cost. He designed, bred, and services jellyfish tanks on a regular basis, but has never been stung. He cleans some of the finest aquariums in town, but never finds enough time to clean his own. He makes 200 gallons of purified water at one time, then dumps a bag of salt into it. He has solved long-term hair algae problems using algae against themselves. He is the most interesting fish guy in the world.
I don't always make DI water, but when I do, I prefer Spectra-Pure. Stay pure, my friends.
Receive a $50 LA Fishguys discount on a Spectra-Pure Max Cap 90 5-stage RODI water purification system. Just call or go online to SpectraPure.com and mention or enter LA Fishguys coupon code LAFMAX50 to receive your LA Fishguys $50 discount.
Hi there, my name's Jim Stime and you know me as the LA Fish Guy. Well, I also wear a couple of other hats. One of them is the jellyfish tank called the Jelly Aquarium, and the third is MyFishTank.com. I offer an entire line of acrylic aquariums ranging from rectangular to hexagon, flatback hex, as well as the custom curve front aquariums. There's also an entire line of stands and canopies ranging from MDF to pine to oak with a variety of different finishes available. And the website is even smart enough that you can calculate what the freight and crate charges to your location will be. That's MyFishTank.com.
Hi, my name's Dean from Tropical Imports here in Glendale, California. We have all different types of tropical fish, freshwater and saltwater. We have reptiles, freshwater plants, goldfish, saltwater invertebrates. We've got all different types of little aquariums here for betas, for tropical fish, mini, nano reef, for plants, saltwater fish. I've got all different types of bowls. Whatever you like, we've got it.
This is where the canister filter is. This is what the water pump outside discharges into. So this is how I'm going to try to bleed the air out of it so I can get it primed.
So with the water lines purged of air and the pump's inlet primed, I just need to get the chiller and the water pump's electrical plugged in. From inside, you can see the results of the air that's still trapped somewhere in the system.
So I'm thinking it's primed, but there's still a whole lot of air bubbles passing through into the tank, so I'm going to pull this little side piece off. It appears to be water at that point, so I'm going to assume that the whole canister is primed. Go ahead and turn that back on then. Well, judging by the amount of schmutz in the water, I'd say something has bubbled through. Here's where one of the discharge nozzles are, so appears as though it's pumping water and at the same time blowing out some air out of the system. This is also another discharge over here. Excuse me, Mr. Puff. So, other than evacuating some air bubbles, I believe that it is primed. Kind of happened too easy, really. Okay, so it does look like the pump and the unit got primed. You can kind of see the water moving through the chiller barrel there, so that's on the discharge side of the water pump. And I'm not seeing any leaks or drips. A nice smooth running pump, so I think we got it fixed. Now the only thing left to do is plug in the chiller and put the doghouse or the cover back over the unit. And as you can see, the chiller is running, blowing its hot air out this direction. Let's take the power cord and push it a little bit inside there so it's not exposed. And I think we're doing well. We can put the doghouse back on. Okay, the doghouse or the cover for the chiller and water pump are now back in place. You can kind of see the old pump pushing out here, but there's plenty of room to exhaust heat, as well as any moisture that might build up inside there. It's a nice little roof, so that should be well protected. There was no leakage. All the fittings that I replaced seem to end up working well. I'm glad I did re-tape that. Let's go in the house and see how the tank is looking itself. Okay, so we've got some stuff that's been stirred up in the tank a little bit, but it appears as though our canister filter is full of water. Those are the two valves that allow it to go in there, and that's where it discharges out of, and it's still blowing a little bit of air out of there. So I'm feeling pretty good about the repair and how I went about it and how I solved the problems as I came across them. I've been dealing with this tank for about 18 years now, and I've got one or two more services with the former owners before the new owners come in. Hopefully they'll appreciate and understand the effort that's gone into this and decide that I'm the right guy for the job. Certainly I've been able to take care of it for a long period of time. I'm going to need to add just a little bit of water back to the system, but for now, I've taken care of the job. And as I did, you should too. Always